San Francisco, 1915. While dredging the bay for the Panama Pacific International Exposition, workers struck a metallic giant deep in the silt. At the time, no one realized this was far more than just a forgotten telegraph pole. When engineers inspected the find, they were stunned. The curves and circular housings on the metal featured a precision that was allegedly impossible to manufacture in the factories of that era. This wasn't debris. It was a sophisticated machine. Government officials arrived at the excavation site and abruptly halted the project. The next morning, they began pouring massive amounts of concrete over the area for safety reasons. The truth was being buried before it could even surface. A dock worker noticed that the artifacts bore a striking resemblance to the wireless energy towers Nikola Tesla had been working on. However, there was a problem. It is alleged that these towers were there long before Tesla was even born. Secret research into the archives revealed old unnamed maps showing a massive energy grid beneath San Francisco Bay. This network pointed to an infrastructure capable of powering the entire city wirelessly. The personal diary of Chief Engineer Arthur Miller was the only piece of evidence showing how much the events of 1915 differed from official history. Miller wrote, "What we surfaced today was not just a tower, it emitted a frequency that made one's bones ache." Allegedly, the first clear photographs taken by the engineers were confiscated that evening by an unnamed government unit and replaced with fake reports labeling the find as harbor debris. The insulating materials found on the tower frames completely defied the metallurgical knowledge of the day. They were not simple porcelain or the glass types used on contemporary power poles. They reportedly possessed a synthetic crystalline structure nearly impossible to achieve even in a modern lab. It is alleged that these crystals absorbed static electricity from the environment to provide a massive energy flow, a feat of precision manufacturing physically impossible for 1915 foundries. In the weeks following the sealing of the site with massive concrete blocks, unexplained phenomena began in San Francisco Bay. A pale blue glow rising from beneath the water at midnight was repeatedly reported by local fishermen. These fishermen claimed that as the glow approached, their ship compasses spun out of control and engines stalled for no reason. Theorists suggest the towers were never removed, only sealed, and the system remained alive. 12 high-level technicians who worked on the construction and touched the inner mechanisms of the towers disappeared one by one after the exposition ended. Some were reportedly sent to secret projects in distant states, while others were declared victims of industrial accidents. Years later, a letter surfaced from one technician stating, "They offered us enough gold to last a lifetime to forget what we saw. We found a key that could change the fate of humanity, but they chose to bury it." Structures like the Palace of Fine Arts built for the 1915 fair are listed in official history as temporary exhibition spaces. However, it is alleged that the geometric designs on their domes and the massive crystal orbs at their peaks shared the same operating principles as the buried towers. The theory suggests these buildings acted as receivers, pulling energy from the air to light the city wirelessly during the fair. Their hurried demolition immediately after the event was allegedly a cleanup operation to erase the evidence. According to secret documents reached by researchers, the placement of the towers was not random. It is alleged that these structures, stretching from San Francisco along the coastline, were actually a massive interconnected subterranean motherboard. This network supposedly used the Earth's magnetic field to transmit wireless power. Workers at the excavation site began suffering from an epidemic of constant ear ringing. While doctors attributed it to fatigue, it is alleged that even after being shut down, the towers continued to vibrate at a low frequency. These vibrations were said to have unexplained effects on the human nervous system. A dark theory suggests that the Great Quake of 1906 was not a natural disaster. The claim is that forces wanting to disable this ancient energy network overloaded the system, causing a massive underground explosion that triggered the earthquake. The timing of Nikola Tesla's laboratory fires and the discoveries in the bay is highly suspicious. Allegations suggest that every path to free energy was being systematically blocked. Tesla's designs were supposedly modern copies of this ancient technology lying beneath the bay. The Tower of Jewels at the 1915 fair glowed brilliantly at night without any visible cable connections. While official records cite hidden generators, no worker ever saw these massive structures being refueled. The energy was allegedly drawn directly from the air via the underground towers. Drilling in the Golden Gate area allegedly uncovered massive copper plates buried meters below the seabed. These plates supposedly served as electrolyte terminals, using the conductivity of salt water to carry energy across the ocean. In a sealed chamber at the base of one tower, metal plates with unknown symbols were discovered. While they were thought to be a user manual for the system, their seizure by military authorities ensured these proofs were buried in the dusty shelves of history. It is claimed that oil and coal barons launched the largest censorship operation in history to stop the spread of this free energy from the air. Free, unlimited energy meant an uncontrollable public and a collapsing industrial monopoly. The iron-wrought decorations in some of San Francisco's historic cemeteries are alleged to be energy receivers. Located on the highest hills of the city, these structures were supposedly small but vital parts of a wireless grid hidden from the public. An old excavation foreman who passed away at 90 left these striking words in his will. "We didn't find a machine down there. We found a living giant. We couldn't dismantle it, so we poured concrete over it to cut off its breath." The famous Alcatraz Island is alleged to have been a switching station for the bay's energy grid, not just a prison. The inmates were supposedly used as a human shield to prevent civilians from approaching this strategic hub. Whenever a deep subway project begins in San Francisco today, machines reportedly strike unidentified metallic obstacles. These obstacles are alleged to be the still intact, impenetrable outer shells of the ancient towers. Modern satellites detect unexplained heat columns rising from beneath the water at specific points in the bay. Could the old towers still be drawing energy from the Earth's core, even under thousands of tons of concrete? There is a growing claim that this technology was not invented in the 1900s, but was inherited from the Tartarian civilization that existed before a global mud flood. We allegedly only built our world on top of their ruins. It is alleged that modern power grids in cities are operated at a specific frequency to suppress the natural radiation emitted by the ancient underground towers. Artificial noise is fed into the system, so we cannot hear the true energy. In some original photographic plates from the 1915 exhibition, bright spheres with no visible engines or propellers can be seen. These are alleged to be early unmanned aerial vehicles, suspended in the air by the energy broadcast from the towers. Is the location of the world's tech hub a coincidence? The claim is that the area possesses a natural magnetic field from the underground energy currents that increases the efficiency of chips and processors. Recent seismic activity has reportedly caused cracks in the concrete seals over the towers. People walking along the San Francisco coast have reported feeling static electricity in the air, a sign that the system is slowly leaking. If these towers were reactivated, humanity could theoretically end its dependence on fossil fuels in a second. However, this awakening is forced to remain an urban legend because it would mean the end of the current economic and political world order. On San Francisco's famous foggy mornings, a deep hum can still be heard coming from the bay. Official history blames the wind, but those who know the legend believe the truth. The giant is still there, waiting beneath the concrete to be reborn. If these secrets intrigued you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to join us on this mysterious journey. See you in the next one.